Hello, guys and gals. This is Little Plays What Ifs here, and I'm back at it again with a new episode of What If Deku had neon. And yeah, is there anything I want to say before the video? I don't think I have anything to really say besides like, subscribe, and give me your comments in the comment section. What you think of the story, and it's always fun to listen to your comments. And thank you for being with me throughout this time. And let me roll that fucking intro for y'all. Now, we start this episode a few days after the last one, as a lot of things in this world has gone drastically worse. The lockdown in Seattle has gone really worse, and the DOP is starting to get more aggressive towards everyone, conduits and regular people alike, as they are getting increasingly, how should I say, dangerous and scared, as the DOP has created a device, as it is spread on the news right now, as the DOP says, we have created a new device. All you have to do is put your palm onto this device, and it can tell us if you're a conduit or a regular human. And we are going to go to every house, every apartment, every building in Seattle, and we're going place to place. And if you are a conduit, we're coming after you. And that's when the feed cuts off, as you see DOP cars outside of houses and outside of apartments, outside of just, buildings in general. And they're going to each district in Seattle, as we see right now, Jade and her parents. Yeah, Jade and her parents are getting increasingly worried right now, as Jade is asking, Mom, is this it? Am I going to be found out? As Jade's mom says, no. Once they find out, we are going in fighting. I don't care, dear daughter. You're not going to be tested or whatever they do whenever they bring you and lock you up. No. We're going in fighting. As we see on the news, as the news has just went live, as a news anchor is saying, we are live in the what's it called? The Ida residence, as it shows the feed of the Tenya family getting tested, and it finally gets to Tenya, as he has been sweating profusely since the start of it. As once he put his palm onto the device, it rang out. As Tenya's brother says, "Run! Use your powers," to Ida. As Ida burst a field, and I mean a big freaking wave of air, condensed air around him, cutting up some of the these DUP officers that are in the house, as Ida turns into pure air and dashes out of the house and through the house, as DOP officers are shooting everywhere trying to find him, but he is very fast and kind of invisible, because he is turned into pure air right now. He doesn't turn into neon like Jade. Whenever she turns into neon, you can at least see her, but think about it, he is condensed air now, as he is partially invisible, as Tenya is running and pretty much fighting whoever he can to get out of his house, as Tenya's parents looks at Tenya's brother with shocked and horrified expressions, as they said, "You knew?" As Tenya's brother says, "Yes, I did. He's family." As in the midst of the DOP firing, trying to shoot and kill Ida, or at least capture him, a bullet went buzzing right into the chest of Tenya's brother, as we see the bullet go through Tenya's brother's chest, and blood spurting on the other end into his parents. Tenya's brother's blood spat on his parents as they're screaming, as Tenya's brother went down to the ground, as Tenya's parents are in shock and breaking down, because they just witnessed one of their kids being a bioterrorist, and the other kid of theirs being shot at by the people that were supposed to protect them, the DOP officers, as Tenya's mother went running to Tenya's brother, as she's weeping and pulling him into her lap, as she's trying to hold his chest so he doesn't bleed out, as you see Tenya's brother just gasping for air. And this is still live on the news, as you're wondering why there are news anchors, as there are people that already got tested and they were not positive on being a bioterrorist, so they started their work. They were broadcasting when the DOP officers were going. So mostly every area where the DOP officers are going are going live. As we see in some districts, one district we see, some bioterrorists running away, either getting caught or getting killed on the spot. And we are seeing a pretty much war going on in Seattle with, my bad. Yeah. As we see war going on. Yeah. As some buildings are exploding. And some you're seeing different parts of Seattle just getting destroyed by chaos and war. Some of the DUP are dying, and some of the conduits are dying. As we go back to our main family, our main character, as they all have shocked and horrified expressions on their face of what they just witnessed, as we hear a banging go on their door. As Jade's mother says, "No, we're not going to wait till you get tested. We are going in full force, daughter. We're going to kill these motherfuckers." As she goes into a hidden closet, as she puts in a passcode, and the passcode opens. As she says, "Sebastian, would you kindly open the door and destroy some of these freaking DUP officers?" As we see, oh my bad, here, Sebastian pull out a lighter and light up his cigarette. As he huffs and he puffs out the smoke of the cigarette. As he says, "Gladly, Miss Midoriya." As he pulls out a pistol and puts it behind his back, as he slightly opens the door, as he says, "What would you would you like to come in, sirs?" As the DUP officers in the door says, "Let us in. If not, you will be suspected of harboring a bioterrorist, or you're one yourself." As the DUP officer shoots Sebastian with a glare. As Sebastian still holding his smoke, as he finally puffs out the smoke right into the DUP officer's face, and the DUP officer is starting to get irritated. As he says, "Sure." As he pulls out the gun from behind his back into the DUP officer's face, as he shoots him right into the head. As the DUP officers all around the perimeter of the mansion just got on high alert as they just heard a shot. As we see Sebastian pull out his other pistol as he starts shooting the DUP officers in the front door, as they didn't even stand a chance, as he was too swift. As we go into the back of the house, as there are still a lot of neon lights in the back of the house because of her powers. As we see Jade absorb as much neon as she can, as she smiles, as she is in blissful joy, as she says, I will never get tired of this feeling. As she smirks, as she turns into pure neon, as she runs to the front door in her pure neon form, as she runs right into a DUP officer. As once she hit him in her neon form, he went flying and hit a tree in the front yard, as he's trying to get up, as she's out of her neon form, as we see her shoot neon out of her palms, as he's getting hit from all directions, as she's shooting him well in neon form, as he finally fell, as she ran up to him and snapped his neck. As there are some news anchors in the in this house as well, as this again broadcasted, as she says, "This is what happens when you mess with me. You DOP filth." As she runs up to the cameraman, as she punches the camera, and the camera scatters and breaks into a million pieces, as the person and the news anchor is in pure terror as they see Jade in pure anger of what she saw on the news, as she says, "You are not any better. You're just broadcasting this and enjoying our suffering." As she punches the news anchor lady square in the face, as that knocked her out clean. As she looks at the cameraman as he's trying to run, as she shoots him a couple of times in the back, as he fell, as she binded him in pure neon on the ground. As she smirks, as a new wave of DUP officers came rushing into the mansion once they saw the news feed cut off and what happened. As we still see some pistols shooting near the front door, and some more DOP officers dying, as we see the front door smash open, and we see Inko and Nastashi with full automatics freaking shooting any DOP officers that come in the perimeter, as they are laughing while freaking shooting them, as they say, "Y'all trying to take our daughter? Oh hell no." As they're shooting as many DOP officers as they can, as it is a full fucking shootout in the front fucking door of their mansion, as the DOP officers are using their concrete powers, as they're trying to get close to Inko and Hisashi. As they get pummeled to the ground by Jade. As she smiles as she says, "Nah, you ain't gonna touch my parents, you motherfuckers." As we see in a separate location, Augustine, as she sees the bright broadcast of Ida, and then she sees Jade cut out the feed, and she isn't surprised. She's a little surprised as she thinks this one's powerful. She needs to be brought in ASAP. The other one doesn't look like he had any training, or at least not that much. But her, she looks like she's had years of training, even military training. As we see Jade pull out a weapon, my bad, as she pulls out a pistol from underneath her jacket, as it was hidden inside her jacket, as she how should I say, I'm making this power up, as she turned the pistol ammo into pure neon energy, as she converted the pistols, or at least the pistol cartridge, into pure neon energy, as she is shooting out pure neon beams at DUP officers now, as she is smiling wickedly, as she says, "This is fun. This is real fun. I've never let loose this much in my fucking life." And she's starting to kind of lose it right now, because she finally is able to let loose and be her true self. She has not let loose all her life. She has been let loose a little bit, but not this much in her entire life. Her parents let her let loose a little bit, but she can't do much whenever she's fighting her parents, because they are still regular humans. They don't have any powers. But she can go full out on these DOP officers, as there is a pile of fucking dead bodies. As Sebastian says, "We need to get out of here, Madam and Master." And Little Miss, as they all look at Sebastian as he goes into the garage, as there is a bulletproof four-doored car with weapons inside, as they have kept this car for a rainy day, as it is all armored out. As they the parents get into the car, as Jade says, "I'll meet y'all on the way. I'll help y'all get away from the DOP officers, and I'll make my own escape route." As they say, "I hope you know what you're doing, Jade." Hisashi says, as she says, "I'm your daughter. Of course I do." As she smiles, as we see the car start revving, and we see Sebastian go full throttle on a car, getting out of the perimeter ASAP. As there are fucking DUP armored trucks and cars coming after them. As we see Jade pull out her super. As she is pulling objects and things to her at the moment. As she is kind of floating in the air at the moment. As she pulls out her hands in front of her. As she shoots a whole fucking beam of pure neon energy out of her. As all the DUP armored trucks and cars around her start exploding, and multiple objects in the area that was floating in the air with her start exploding as well. As the DUP officers didn't even stand a chance against that. As she put out that super in the exact perfect time. As we see her dash. As there are more DUP officers that are trying to get to her. But she says too fast as she's going over buildings, dodging and weaving. As there are helicopters now going overhead. As she looks up, as she clicks her tongue, as she says, "Damn. What the fuck is this? Helicopters now? Great. I can't have them following my parents." As she is pretty much in a way following her parents, cars still protecting them. As we see her parents roll down some of the windows, the back two windows, as they're both shooting out of the back windows if there's a DUP car close. As they have FMJ freaking piercing rounds that can damage armor piercing rounds pretty much. And we see Miss Ingo over here finally pull out a fucking rocket launcher out of her out of the bottom of the car that was underneath the seats. As we see Hisashi see her pull out a fucking I forgot what it's fucking called right now. Fuck, I just completely blanked out. I don't know why. A fucking rocket launcher. As he said, whoa, Ingo, what? I didn't even know there was a fucking rocket launcher here. As she says, "I've been keeping this baby for a rainy day." And it is that rainy day, Hisashi. As she gets partially out of the car. As she's holding the rocket launcher steadily. As she holding the rocket launcher to the helicopter. As we see Jade look at the car and her mom holding a fucking rocket launcher. As her eyes went wide. As she fucking yells, "Are you crazy, Mom?" As she's ecstatic. As she's gotten that side of her from her mother. As her mother is pretty crazy. And I mean, whenever she, her mom is battle crazy. That's how I can say it. Whenever she's in battle, she is ecstatic. She loves the heat of battle. That's where Jake gets that part of her. As she's smiling while she asks her mother, "Is she crazy?" As her mom sees Jade's bow of or line of neon on top of the building. As she smiles as she looks back at the helicopter as she's just waiting for the opportune moment to you know, to blow that helicopter sky high. As the helicopter sees the rocket launcher and the DOP officer saying, "What the fuck?" as the helicopter tries to turn away. As whenever it tries to turn, it is pretty much sideways to Inca right now. As she says, "You idiots." As that is the perfect target for her at the moment. As she shoots the rocket launcher. As she lets the the rocket or the launcher fall because the rocket's not in it anymore. As she throws the launcher away, well, she sees the rocket go up to the helicopter in very rapid speed. As the person in the helicopter is saying, "Oh shit, 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 shit," as we see the helicopter explode. As we see the helicopter fall to the ground and right on top of a few other DOP officers, DOP cars, as it is rolling on the ground now. It is rolling and destroying everything in its path. As there are multiple DOP cars that got destroyed with the blown up helicopter that is going downhill on a main road. As we see Hisashi, Inko, even Sebastian look back and they're seeing the helicopter catching up to their car and destroying anything in its path. As Hisashi says, "You shouldn't have done that, Inko." As she says, now I see that." As we see, fucking Sebastian drive right into an alleyway in high rapid speed, pretty much scraping the side of a car to a wall. As right whenever he dodged and went into the alleyway, the helicopter sped down, still down the same road. As Ingo laughed hysterically. "That was fun. I haven't had this much fun in fucking years, Hisashi." As Hisashi has sweat dripping down his face, as he kind of chuckles as he says, "Well, that's my wife for ya. Battle crazed maniac." As she says, "You love it though." As he says, "Can't deny that. I can't deny I love that crazy side of you and my daughter." As he says, "Our daughter can finally let loose now that she's found out." As he turns on one of the headsets that they all have before they took their attack on the DOP officers. As he says, "Daughter." As we see Jade running on top of a building as she says, "Yes, father." As he says, "Your friend. Try to find him." As Jade chuckles as she says, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be the one that's able to find him. I think he'll be the one to find us." Once he sees the newest broadcast of what we just did. As Satoshi says, but is he going to survive that long without being found out? As Jade thinks back on, you know, on the guy that she likes, Ida, Tenya. As she thinks on what type of guy he is. As she says he is a pretty smart guy. I think he'll be able to survive. As Shashi nods and he says, I hope you are right about that. I would hate for him to get caught and die on us. As she says, he won't. He won't. As she runs away. As she's dodging police helicopters and anything that can try to see her. As she runs through alleyways and anything that is remotely dark. Any dark area of the city. Where she cannot be found out. Where she's trying to go. As we see another part of the city, in an abandoned building, we see Delson Row and Fetch. My bad, that's the wrong photo. There we go. As they are seeing the live feed. My bad about the background, but yeah. Now that that's I'm done with. Let me go back to story. We see Delson Row and Fetch. Look at the live feed as Fetch says, this is quite interesting. Someone with the exact same power as me, but I think her version of my power is more advanced than me. It's a more advanced version of my neon, because I couldn't do that. As she points at as you see Fetch pointing at Jade using a pistol as a freaking beam for her neon. As Delson says, that is quite interesting. Y'all could be twinsies. Y'all could be related. As Delson says, but they're killing though. Even even her parents and the butler is killing all the DUP agents. They're really knocking them down a peg. As Delson chuckles. But he says, I can't blame them though. The DUP was starting a war. From what they just did, they started a whole fucking goddamn war. From making that damn device. As we see Fetch say, I need to talk to that girl. I need to get some info on her freaking family background, because there cannot be any coincidence that it can't just be a coincidence that she has the same power as me. It has to be something. It has to be something. I don't know. As Delson says, she could have the same power as me, but she didn't use any other powers whenever she was in her house. So As they're looking at the house, the mansion, as the DUP officers started searching it right after they left and went to another place. As Dawson says, nah, they couldn't be total idiots to leave their mansion like that. She says, they might be smart, but that's pretty. As whenever she was supposed to say dumb, they see the fucking mansion explode. As she says, dumb. As Delson says, they were prepared for this, weren't they? As Fetch says, if her parents were in on it and they're not conduits like us, that just means that they were waiting for something like this to happen. Once the DUP showed up, she's had her powers for fucking a long time. She must have. As Delson nodded, as we see the ashes of what used to be Jade's mansion in dead bodies and scarred beyond recognition corpses of DUP officers. And yeah, I think this is the end of part 6. I think this is either part 5 or 6 of What If Deku had Neon. And I very much hope that y'all liked this episode and like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you like and subscribe, and tell me in the comment section how y'all felt about this episode. This was very action packed and very different from my past episodes. I was just trying to create the world of with those 4 episodes and create the atmosphere. In the next episode, I'm going to show y'all the point of view of Mina and Jiro, and the point of view of, Ida. As we ended here, and I hope you all have a good day or night wherever your time zone is, and peace out, motherfuckers.